taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
And we also want to give some bars too for performance yesterday. You know, because I mean we had an early morning card from Japan. You know, on Tuesday. You know. Of course, now it's just again earlier and earlier. You know, starting at 3
motherfucker, that shit. Oh my god, I woke up to fucking Yokozuna theme song playing in my head. And like, okay, let me get ready to fucking watch this goddamn fight.
Yeah. I missed all the rest. I heard the Coleman was a fade, and how'd the Blackanese nigga look?
I woke up to the co-main. Like the co-main was what I woke up to. And truthfully, I needed because that shit was a slug. That shit was blood sport. Like that shit was a real war. Like that shit was. It was bad too because you know it was 4 knockdowns and dude ended up collapsing. You know, Duke was collapsing in this corner and was.
Oh, it looked bad.
Yeah, it was one of those fates. Like I mean, I was like, God damn! I really woke up at 5 o'clock or 4:45 to see a nigga almost die in the ring. Like, geez, like you know, sometimes it's like really you get shit like that put in perspective. You know, but you know, I know that reportedly he's going under brain surgery or something like that. So you know, hopefully everything is okay. But I was like, God damn, like that's one hell of a warm up to the fucking main event. Like, geez, like you know, and I didn't even put on the alarm because I just happened to wake up and I was like, oh shit, I gotta put this shit on ESPN Plus. Like I wasn't near my laptop because I was really sleeping. I had ESPN Plus on my phone, so I was like, so I couldn't really like tweet or post in real time. I just had to watch.
Oh damn! Like this was a TV fight. This wasn't no phone fight, nigga.
Well, I mean, where I was because my laptop was in the basement and shit like that. And I'm not. And my brother was sleeping. I was like down there. I was like, I didn't want to like go there and just wake up, you know, wake this motherfucker up, like you know, and like just to go watch some boxing. And then he's like,
nigga, you big like, bro. What the fuck? He can't whoop you, nigga.
Yeah, no, but he
I know you nice, bro. You nice.
Yeah, no, I had to be considerate. So I was like, thank God for phones being, you know, in 2023. I can.
I was watching on my phone too. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Oh, you got some hoes with this shit, nigga. Like that, like.
Hey, no,
the best fighter in the world gets 65-inch treatment TV level. Like,
no, nigga. You know why? No, because for me, once again, like Pat. The laptop wasn't by me. It was downstairs, and I would have had to waken up the dog. And yeah, it would have been a whole fucking thing. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just watch this shit on my phone.
Yeah, it was just more like.
Okay, maybe that's why sometimes y'all be missing out on the nuances of what that nigga does. Cause you.
Well, not me, nigga. I know what that nigga does.
I mean, I watch it on my phone if there's 3 cards going on at once. You know, I'll put the third shit on my phone, maybe. You know.
But this is where, and this is where I agree with Android though. Like, if you want to build Monster up, you gotta put him on American time. Like, I get it. It's he's in Japan. He's a star. Dude has his own thing. He does that. But when these cards start to get earlier and earlier, it's like there's gonna be so much like niggas need to sleep. Like it's like goddamn, like it's like and I thought that shit was. They said Japan said, listen, we got a Japanese and a Filipino on the card. We don't give a fuck about what you dirty gaijins think. That's basically what they told me.
Because you know what, they basically saying this. Look, man. Y'all niggas been sleeping on Monster so long. Sleep some fucking more.
Yeah.
Go ahead, just sleep. Miss out on the greatest boxing performance of all time. Anytime this nigga fight, like just miss out on it. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. It ain't important like that.
Yeah, and that's exactly.
Salute King.
I forgot it's Filipino, so obviously they're gonna, because it's a Filipino and Japanese fighter. Yeah, American time is just like, we're gonna.
Yeah, that's like a standard Pacific East Championship fight for them niggas.
Yeah, it's like American, like nah, like Gaijin, nah, like none of that, like this is. Yeah, you gotta wake up bad early. You might get them Folgers brewing shit. You want to watch this shit, like So yeah, it was watching it on the phone. It's not ideal, but it was just convenient. course, to watch Naoya, Monster Inoue, and Marlon Tapales, fight for the undisputed super bantamweight championship of the world. And truthfully, I thought the fight would have been a blowout. But Tapales, to his credit, and he deserved, he made it a fight. Like he put together an effort and actually did a lot of things that was like, this is Monster should be doing. Like Monster couldn't handle an up jab, a southpaw up jab.
The southpaw jab was
And on top of that, he was still posing after throwing right hands, like too much, dropping his hands, stuff like that. And Tapales, it was coming forward on him, and I'm getting it because he's in a new division. Fighters will probably attempt to do that to test him out. But Monster, though, again, Monster's power is just ridiculous. It's stunning. Like you can hear it on the phone. If I can hear it on my Droid, I'm pretty sure the TV or like his power is stunning. And Tapales was like, "Wait, why are you taking all the?" I'm thinking like, and Tapales was high guarding it, but it just seemed like Monster was punching, and eventually he punched through it. Like, I mean, the fight could have been over in the fourth round because I think he hit him with a right hand, and Tapales was like, his legs started doing a silly dance, and Flory put him down, and you're like, "Oh shit, okay, this fight's about to end." But Tapales got up and he made shit hot, like he was.
Yeah, like he was still. He probably got even more competitive. Actually,
he did. Like he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna use my champion, and I'm gonna go out one."
He was mad. He was competitive in the sense where I don't think he was really winning rounds like that, but he was making the engagements like interesting, and he was having his moments.
Right.
Like he was fighting. He landed some jabs. He rocked Inoue's head back with some lefts.
He did. He sure did.
With a decent amount, like, I'm saying, this was easily the most competitive Monster fight we've seen since the first Daenerys fight.
Yeah, it was.
And that's literally like 2019. Like, this man gets into like competitive fights every 5 years.
Right.
Like that's the level he's on. Like, who was on that level? Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah. And I appreciate that too, because obviously, and we all know Monster's the type of like he doesn't do tune-ups because he thinks he can't mentally handle tune-ups because he doesn't want shit sweet. Like he wants someone that would challenge him. And Tapales was giving him that challenge. Like there's no question about that. But the one thing Tapales still fucked up on is like you can't let Monster kind of hit you. You can't let him hit you like that. Like
he stayed in front of Monster too long. Like that's the one thing, and he was doing it early. He got away from it in the second half. But the thing is, it's like certain things you can't start doing when your health meter is like yellow orange.
Right.
And he started fighting the better fight when he was already yellow orange. So
right.
It was only a matter of time, even though the fight got better, because at one point I'm like, okay, about the third, fourth round, I was like, damn, this is a decent little, it's a good little, Inoue kicking his ass, but it's entertaining. And then it got to like maybe the sixth round, and I'm like, okay, this is a damn good little fight right here. Like, this is interesting, because there was one sequence where he made Inoue miss like 3 punches in a row. Like,
he did.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I don't think I've seen this in a while. Like
he obviously he rocked Monster, but he gave him a nice shot. I mean,
Yeah, I think he did rock him a couple times.
There's a nice body shot. I think he had too on him.
Yeah,
a nice short body shot. But anyways, just complete and such a spiteful puncher. Like, because he dropped him early. He dropped him like second, third round. He dropped him right.
Fourth round.
Okay, fourth round. Yeah. But I mean,
and it's just he punches through the like. And that's what I'm saying, how, like, in a way, like, niggas don't understand, like, in a way is, like, the closest thing you'll get to a perfect boxer. Because he throws every punch fundamentally correct, with precision, accuracy. The impact is sharp, it's quick.
It's crisp, it's so...
Like, it's everything, like, in every punch is like that. It's not like he's right-hand dominant, where, like, his right hands are, like, perfect, and left hook is like, it's pretty good. uppercuts like good. Nah, like everything is like how it needs to be when it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it really shows how hard it is to approach a strategy, to approach a fight with Inoue. Like there's certain, it's like you just gotta have an overall boxing IQ and sense to just avoid hits but land your own, but you still gotta have a strategy on top of that, because if you crack Inoue, he's gonna try to crack you. He's trying to get back as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let him lead too much, because he likes to throw, he'll get a little anxious and he'll start doing combinations. He does that one where he's like jab, left hook, the right hand at the over, like he throw crazy shit, and they're like all hard and quick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the type of guy, and you see Canelo loads up and punches hard and he wins, he gasses.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see Inoue will punch hard purposely and he won't gas.
Mm-hmm. Then
sometimes he just punches quick. Like, so he switches up tempos, all of that shit. It's a lot to deal with. Mm-hmm. One mistake could really fuck you up.
Right. And like I said, and it basically, and top because his pressure puts a lot of mental pressure, and I don't know, Tapales too. I mean, it wasn't just the punches; it was just the mental pressure that his monster was not. He was coming forward so much, and I could tell too is when Tapales got hit with that final right hand, which did land like on top of his head, like you could and dude just went down. He had physically and mentally had enough. He had,
his face was battered too. Like all them shits was just like what Inoue did pretty much was he was spamming double right hands the whole night. He knew that. Yeah. He knew that was the punch.
Boom, and then boom, 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 like that. And punching right through.
But that's the thing. He wouldn't even fucking throw the jab on some of them.
Right.
He would just throw the right hand.
Yeah.
And so with the last, it's like I felt like it was some shit where he did his special attack and the nigga blocked it. Then he did his special attack again, and the nigga tried to block it, and that shit just broke through, and it really felt like some movie anime shit. Like this nigga, how many times have you seen a guy throw the same punch, his best punch twice? And I say his best, but I don't know. In a way, every punch is his best punch.
Right.
But like he throw his best punch twice, and the guy is right there, blocks one, and semi blocks. Tries to block the second one, and it just overpowers him, and that's it. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like this, like in a way, just other level, man. Just
absolutely. And then, of course, now with that, became a double undisputed in under a year. The first ever undisputed super bantamweight champion of the world. Like there's not even when there were two belts was there undisputed. Like unless bantamweight, there were undisputed champions there. There was never one in super bantamweight. So again, another career victory, like a whole achievement. Like Monster is on a high like right now, and it's just like and like I said, he's still nonchalant and everything like that. And like I said, enough respect to Tapales for making it a fight, but Monster was just the Monster.
And coming to win.
Yeah. And even more impressively, because, one thing about Monster and other fighters don't really do is like, oh, yeah, we're negotiating for other fights that are going to happen in 2024. Usually fighters don't be talking about there's a turnaround, and now, of course, we know the fights are going to be Luis Neri, obviously in Japan, which is going to be interesting because we know Neri has very infamous reputation.
Yeah, they banned that nigga. But they say, you know what? We'll bring you back to feed you to the Monster.
Right.
And a fitting end.
Right. And then Akhmadaliev is in Saudi Arabia, too. I mean, because the Saudi Arabia have to say, yeah.
Oh, my God. What would Godzilla destroy over there? Like... Yeah. Like, I mean, come on, like, y'all bringing this nigga to Saudi Arabia? Like
MJ. Honestly, I'm not even really all that interested in seeing Inoue versus MJ.
Honestly, gonna have 2 fights next year.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Neri in Japan. They're gonna overturn his ban in Japan, Neri, and then we're gonna get, if he wins, obviously he's gonna get MJ in Saudi Arabia supposedly.
Yeah, so
it's like if you're gonna have 2 fights and one of them is against a guy who lost to the guy you just beat.
I don't even think would have beaten the Tapales that Inoue fought.
No, I'm saying I've always liked Neri. I know he got knocked out by Figgy, but I've always liked Neri, and I always want to see the Inoue fight. I always want to see.
No, we're not talking about the Neri fight. The Neri fight is
MJ.
cool.
Talking about MJ.
MJ, like
look,
the MJ just seemed like the MJ is like Canelo Golovkin 3 right now.
MJ is kind of boring. I mean, at least like I can remember fucking my dude having a fight a year. You know,
MJ would lose to Tapales again in a rematch. That fight was no fluke.
Yeah, it's like, yo, man, like
MJ's just kind of boring. I get it. He gets some KOs, but the path to get there is kind of boring to watch sometimes with MJ.
What path to who to get to?
I'm just saying, like during just his fights are kind of like kind of boring to get through. But even though
whose fights are kind of boring to get to, I couldn't hear you.
MJ.
Yeah, because that power boxing shit, like, oh my god, that shit gets annoying after a while when it's like, okay, well, let's get to the power part. You just want to fucking box boring until then.
Yo, honestly, Shane Mosley, the only niggas who really knew how to do that power boxing shit justice, where they letting their hands go, but then they power boxing. But these niggas, they call it that, but it's like boxercise or some shit. Ain't no power boxing, like ain't no fucking Jack Mosley, nigga. Chill.
But at least though with Monster, at least those fights are already outlined. Like we already know what to expect, and and that's what I like. Because I mean, Monster.
I don't like that too much because then that gives everybody a leg up on. Okay, if I knock out these niggas, I could be fighter of the year. Like it's like niggas got to top that. Like niggas could be fighter of the year already, just saying that they could top that.
I mean, to me, I'd rather have that because I mean, honestly, Monster has let it be known that he's gonna stay at 122 for a little bit. So he's not going. I mean, if anything, we probably won't see him at featherweight until like maybe sometime in 2025 at least. But I mean, he's there for now because and he has all the belts or whatever. So, I mean, obviously featherweight, there's gonna be more fighters for him. But the one thing that
much left. There's not much there. He'll like. If he is like, oh, I want big fights because the tune-ups I don't get up for the tune-ups, pause, motherfucker anyway might fall asleep at 122. He might have to move up quickly after these 2 fights.
That or if he wants to face like someone like a Sam Goodman,
Goodman. I mean, that would be a good fight.
Yeah. Goodman will probably get destroyed, but it will be a good fight. But I mean, with Monster though, but one thing that has to die is the shit where every time Monster gets these victories, Tank or the shit or the cat that the young cat that Floyd is mentoring right now, they could beat him. Like,
oh, bro, Tank came out himself and said, "Stop mentioning that fight. He's nowhere near my weight class. Stop bringing it up." Like Tank himself had to do that shit.
Yeah, like I get it because I mean, part of it is because the ignorance don't know who's actually in his weight class or whatever, or some feel some sort of way because of.
But I mean, you got to be pretty fucking ignorant. You could look at them and tell they're not nowhere near the same size,
right?
Like you can't tell me fucking Zerto and goddamn fucking. Jose Benavidez are the same size.
Everybody that they want to match up Inoue against is either too big or too small. Oh, I didn't forget. Oh, well, now I'm interested in Inoue versus Bam. What the fuck? 2 weight classes too low. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's starting to get annoying. Like, just appreciate what the guy's doing right now. It's like stuff. Or if you at least throw some names of people that in his actual like that maybe
niggas who just started hearing about Inoue who want to play matchmaker the hardest. The niggas who've been watching them don't be saying stupid shit like that.
I tell you, I hate to bring politics into this, but like boxing has shown me how detrimental George Bush was to us, because No Child Left Behind, there were a lot of children left behind, and boxing has shown me that.
Yeah. It's just like it's getting annoying. Like, dude, just appreciate. And if it's not that, then of course the roids. Oh, this motherfucker's roiding and shit like that. That's the other thing. If it's not just the opponents that don't make sense, it's the roiding. Oh, this motherfucker's roiding. Is he not doing random blood testing or shit like that? I'm like, you motherfuckers. Like, really? Like, seriously? Like, I mean, the motherfuckers on camera, actually getting tested like frequently. Like, what are we talking about? Like, motherfuckers have to give Monster his props for what he's doing. Yes,
it's like these niggas want to run these super historical pound for pound fights and run that whole Pacquiao Floyd Asian urban angle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could tell they be reaching for that, but it's just there isn't one of those type of fights for this era yet.
Right.
Like, just you ain't gotta force it like that.
No, you don't. Yes, and I get it. Like I said, it's hard to I get it. It's hard to see a motherfucker that looks like a K-pop superstar that's actually that fights like a whole demon and knocking and destroying cats that don't necessarily get destroyed. But he's doing it, and we should appreciate the why he's actually still fighting, rather than try to try to make up all these fucking opponents that that don't make sense. They're not even in this weight class. There are 2 weight classes, 3 weight classes above. Like, y'all need to cut that bullshit out.
Well, I'm glad Tank deaded that rumor. I'm glad Tank did it. I mean, I bring people up, but they gotta be ready like at 130. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, come on, y'all want this niggas like, damn, like, y'all man, it's like, motherfuckers, it's gonna get to the point where I think these superstars in these different divisions, when people say that, motherfuckers may just start just doing exhibition sparring matches with these niggas and just get some type of bag or some shit, because these niggas just be like, motherfuckers be so clueless, yo. Like, you really could be like, all right.
Right.
Well, Tank do like 4 rounds for Inoue.
Right.
And niggas would just be like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah, that's like,
yeah.
Oh, well, I thought they would go harder. Like, niggas sparring. Like, his weight class. You see how big this nigga look like.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
it was a good performance from both men, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, like, I was not pleased, and of course, like, once that shit was done, I went back to bed for like another 2 hours, though. I had to. Like,
damn.
I had like, there's some brief conversation in our tunnel chat, and then I went back to sleep because it was still early as fuck to me. So it was just like, but yeah, the Monster still remains Monster, and of course, when we do our year-end show, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of arguing about who should be Fighter of the Year, and Monster clearly is one of the candidates for Fighter of the Year, for sure. So, like,
I mean, think about it. Look, he already told you who he's going to beat next year. So, he's Fighter of the Year this year, and he's letting everyone else know, it's up for grabs next year for y'all.
Right.
Because I'm sure, no one's going to, Fighter of the Year for
Some say Haney, Crawford had performance. I mean, even though Crawford hasn't won, it's not like there hasn't been champions that, fighters that have Fight of the Year for 1 win, so it's happened before, Yeah,
and it's a dumbass rule though.
Right.
Yeah. Like, why? Like, you could be up there, but as the Fighter of the Year, like, nah, it's like I said in the tweet, man. That's like being employee of the month and only showing up to work for 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is when the motherfucker get Fighter of the Year and fight once.
Right.
I'm not gonna argue nobody against, everybody got their own criteria, who they judge or how they judge whoever. That's cool. The mine is Inoue, like, easy.
I mean, my thing is just like, start putting respect on Monster's name. Like, don't let your bias blind you to the fact that you're watching a very, very special fighter that's doing very special things right now, because it's not going to last. Like, eventually when Monster's gone, like, Monster's already one of the few active fighters that has a Hall of Fame resume. His is like this. It's unquestioned what he's doing in his Hall of Fame. Like,
see, he's already to all-time great level right now. Like,
right.
Like, he's past Hall of Fame. Like, he's all-time great level now. It's just, if there's a hiccup or anything that he could suffer where it could just really stay in his career. But to me, he's all-time great level now. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Double undisputed is big. You know, super bantamweight, come on, big. Like,
yeah, and then like I said, featherweight. You know, obviously featherweight is definitely set up for him once he's done doing what he's doing at 122. So yeah, like
most likely, I mean, you know, Monster will run until 130. I think Monster will run until 130. You know,
I don't know. I don't think his. We gotta like this is the thing. It depends. Like, and I kind of see where he's coming from. I think he wants to fight a few more people at that division to see how his power, you know, acclimates to that division and these bigger guys. Because pause, like, I don't know if his like the punches on Fulton like were destructive, but it was against a guy who I remember Rome when we was talking about the fight earlier a week ago. He was saying Fulton fought scary, and he gave a performance like he was the kid, he was the new kid forced to fight the school bully. And I was like, oh shit, nigga, that's bars, because he did fight like that.
Word.
And so, you know, those punches always hurt the most when you being afraid, because they kind of shock you. And it's like, so fighting Tapales, he's fighting a guy who wants to win, and he's letting these shots go. He's getting more violent. He didn't get as violent with Fulton like he did with Tapales.
Hell no.
And this is the thing. He's getting real violent with Tapales, and it took him 10 rounds against a tough guy who came to win. I don't know if his power is going to damn go up to 130 like that. Let's see how he handles Neri and M. Bison.
Bison.
And kind of just because if he's punching this, I know he really brutalized dude face and all, but I think he might have to. I think the power might taper off here at this division, and it's like he'd have to damn rely on more boxing if he moves up. So I think he's kind of just trying to see how well his power is, because it could be that, you know, next year around this time we could be looking at it like, yo, Tapales is just a tough motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or, but if he goes 10 with Neri, 8 with MJ, you know, if he goes deeper rounds with these niggas, it's gonna say something.
Yeah.
Especially if he's punching as violent, because this nigga was doing SNK combos. This nigga was doing damn the Terry Bogard burning knuckle, rushing in, fucking raging storm. Like, man, this nigga was doing shit.
Right.
And Tapales was taking them shit. So yeah, like, I don't know about going up to 130. Like, he might tap out at this division or 126.
I mean, I don't think he'll tap out at 122. 126 is going to be the division depending on, you know, who's still remaining or whatever. They'll be the indicator. Right. Now, if he's icing people at 126, then maybe a 131 might actually be.
We got to see him ice more people at 122. I think and that's what he wants to see as well. Because just having those fights lined up in the same division. And this is why I say he's also fighting, because he literally moved up to a new division and beat all the best fighters.
Good.
I feel like he's good enough for his power not to translate. He can outbox these motherfuckers. I mean, I like Figueroa, but come on, I think he outboxes Brandon Figueroa. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know, Figueroa.
I like Figueroa. It's a great fight, but I think I favor Monster over Figgy. You know what I'm saying? Guys at 126. I'm just saying.
But yeah, great performance by Monster. You know, to end the year. You know, he did his thing, obviously, you know, and obviously, you know, when we have our Fight of the Year conversations, it'll be more interesting, you know, again, talking about who's who.